stone. White as snow. I didn't know the night that I got saved that He wrote my name down in the Lamb's Book of Life. I learned that later. I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. All I know is that night that I got saved, that I needed to get saved because there was a fire burning inside my chest, and the only thing that could put it out was to get up from where I was and go to where I needed and ask Him to come into my heart and come into my life and wash me and cleanse me and then walk or stand up by faith and believe that He saved my soul. Devils told me 100,000 times, you didn't get saved. I'm going to tell you this. I can take you to the spot. I can rub your nose in the spot where the tears fell from my eyes. The spot where I give my heart to the Lord. I can take you there. And I can show you where I got saved. Spiritually, I took the devil there 1,000 times. I say, devil, you know that spot over in that roof church? You know that spot right there on the left side of the communion table, right there where they step down off the pulpit? You know that spot, devil? You was there when I got saved. Can I tell you this? I got saved on a Sunday night. The next Sunday morning, I went back to the altar. That Sunday night, I went back to the altar. And the next Sunday morning, I went back to the altar. The next Sunday night, I went back to the altar. The next Sunday morning, I went back to the altar. The next Sunday night, I went back to the altar. I've done that. I don't know how many Sundays in a row. Well, why'd you keep doing that for? I needed to learn more. I know that now. I need to learn more about who He was. We've got the mindset today. Well, I'll go to the altar and I'll give my heart to the Lord, and that'll be the end of it. Show me that in the Bible and I'll preach it right along with you. You can't show me, so I ain't going to preach it. So when I look at this morning, I know why Paul says these things about himself. Paul doesn't seem or deem himself to be worthy of such love. He doesn't deem himself to be worthy of somebody that would love him the way that Christ loved him. I've made mention of this. I believe Saul was there when Jesus died. I believe. I ain't got no scripture to back it up. But I see a man in the Apostle Paul. I see a man that has a relationship with Jesus unlike any other that I know of. I see a man that even though that he was what he was, a Pharisee, believed the law, believed in the things of God, and worshiped and followed it to the letter. I see a man that finds himself unworthy to receive such love. I see a man that finds himself unworthy of such kindness in his life. Saul of Tarsus showed no kindness whatsoever in the 7th and in the 8th chapters of the book of Acts. He showed no kindness, none, to those that believed the story that the apostles, Peter and James and John, Matthew and the others were preaching. Thousands upon thousands were being saved because they were feeling in their heart the tug of the Lord at their life. But Saul, big old brawny man, mean, he couldn't feel it because he believed he was right in the way they lived. Jesus told him there on that road to Damascus, you're kicking against the pricks. The pricks is what they used to prod the animals. Sharp. And as time went, electric. Used it to prod the animals, to get their attention, to make them do what they wanted them to do. Jesus was prodding Saul's heart. You say, what's that going on in my heart this morning? It's that prod. As Jesus is prodding at your heart. I looked this morning at what that Paul said. And Paul said, I thank Christ Jesus our Lord, who hath enabled me, for that he counted me faithful, putting me in the ministry. Can I say to you this morning, there ain't nobody ever going to love you like God loves you. Nobody. Nobody is ever going to be able to express to you that love like that he has for your heart and for your life. And I literally this morning, thank God that I'm saved. I thank God that my name is recorded in the Lamb's Book of Life. I can't take you to the book. I can't show you my name there. But I believe with all of my heart, based upon God's holy word, that my name is written there, and that my sins are under the blood that was shed on Calvary's cross. I believe this morning that he paid the price so that I won't have to. I believe this morning that he done it all so that I won't have to go through it. I believe this morning that I owed a debt that I couldn't pay. And I believe this morning he paid a debt that he didn't owe. I believe this morning that he loved me that much, that he was willing to suffer like he did. Can I tell you this morning? Before they hung Jesus on the cross, Pilate ordered him to be scourged. And when a man was scourged, they would only beat him across the back 40 times, save one. Because they feared if they done it 40 times, history would tell them that they would die. But that scourge that they beat upon an ordinary man with wasn't like the scourge that they beat upon Jesus with. In that scourge that they beat upon Jesus with, in that cat o' nine tails, that cat that whipped, that had that long strand of leather, and on the end of that long strand of leather had those 9 tails. They tied glass or pottery, they tied rocks, nails, whatever that they could find in those 9 strands. And they beat across the back of my Lord. They tied him to a post so he couldn't escape. And that man that had that whip in his hand, he'd rear back with everything that he had, with all the expertise that he had to be able to use that whip. And he would rear back and he would swing that thing toward my Lord, and at just the right time, he jerked back on that whip. And that pottery, and those rocks, and those nails that they put on the end of those 9 tails would grab hold into the flesh on his back. He'd grab hold and rip the flesh off. The expertise of that whip man, that had that whip in his hand, he knew exactly when to go. pull back. Exactly when to cause the most pain upon the person that's receiving it. Jesus had that whip come across his back with the pottery and the rocks and the nails 39 times. Ripped the flesh off his back, off his sides. Ripped it plumb off. Then they took him back before Pilate and threw him down. And the crowd, all that they could cry was crucify him. Crucify him. Crucify him. Crucify him. So Pilate washed his hands. Said, go. His blood be upon you and your children, not upon me. So they went. The Bible says they took thorns. Not the thorns that we have around here. You know them little thorns that's on them rose bushes, Gwynplaine's heard, or the little thorns that's on a locust tree. No, not like that. It was thorns. 2 to 3 inches long. They made a crown out of it. The Bible says they plaited it upon his head. They plucked the beard from his face. They stripped him naked down through the streets of Jerusalem, threw that cross upon his back. Some historians say he only carried the beam. Some says he carried the whole thing. I have a tendency to believe he carried it all. Not just the cross, but my sin and yours. I have a tendency to believe that the reason that he fell down in the streets of Jerusalem was not from the weight of the cross, but was from the weight of the sin that was upon his heart. Then when he got to Golgotha's hill, he laid that cross down, laid himself down upon that cross. They took them spike nails, put it into his hands. Some say here, some say here. But they put it into his hands. And they nailed his hand, his right hand, his left hand to that tree. And then they crossed his feet. And they drove that nail through the upper part, right below the ankle, into the cross. Why did they cross his feet? Because when you hung on the cross, if you still had strength enough in your leg, you could push yourself up, catch a breath, and go back down. That's why they broke the legs of the two that was on either side of him. But when they come to him, they thrust a spear into his side. He was already dead. They didn't take his life. He said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. Bowed his head and died. I thank God this morning that I know that I'm saved. Let's bow our heads this morning and close our eyes. God has spoken to our hearts today. He has spoken to us with words of encouragement and help. He has spoken to us today that tells us that you know the truth this morning. You know the truth. You know whether or not that your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. You know whether or not you're ready this morning. If the Lord was to come, or if death would come knocking at your door, you know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, whether or not you'll go be in heaven with Jesus. Heaven is a beautiful place. But the most beautiful thing that I know of that is there is the one that died for my sin. The greatest friend